Let's talk first about gold and the euro and the technical chart. So first of all, going a little bit out to catch the big moon pump that was the run up to the 5,600 in dollar terms, and in euro terms was the 4,671. You're not going to recognize some of these numbers. Why are we doing this? Why are we being awkward and looking in euro terms now, not gold? Well, we'll show you gold in dollar terms too, but we'll show you why this is a better technical setup. It is a upside HVF with a part of our reflation. We called for a reflation following all the events that have happened recently of the precious metals. We've called for the reflation of precious metals generally in terms of all of this environment, and we're seeing exactly that. Let's get our epic pen out. So you will notice that on the euro that we don't have a higher high. What are you doing there? Video is getting all cranky. Let's get that all sorted. Don't be silly. There we go, back there. So you can see on the euro, this is not as high. Oh, we got to go TG Pink, a nice fat Koki. Otherwise, nobody's going to be seeing it. You've got to spot the shooter that was wearing a dress. The woman that was wearing a dress shooting people in Canada. It was a person wearing a dress. Sorry, I think I diverged there a little bit. Oh, yes, indeed. The non-violent people. No, yeah. You cis males are all behind all these shootings. Anyway, back to this. Here we go. 4,568 is the target that is generated, and you're having a little bit of a third impulse. And of course, simultaneous to this, we are also in low volatility. Yes, we're back, and we're still back. That's right. Gun person, indeed, gun person. I quite like that. It was a shooting person, a person who shot. That's right. Anyway, back into this. Let's have a look. 2 hourly. You can see it still holds. And in actual fact, we talk about a primer, which is a squeeze within a squeeze inside our community and in our learnings. Please don't book a call. We've got we've had demand overreach at the moment. You're going to be looking at least 2 weeks before you get a chance to speak to someone. And further to that, the payment option will only be back available in the next month. So don't book a call right now. Rather face the higher prices that are coming shortly after that. Now, let's look at gold against the dollar. Let's look at gold versus the dollar. We're being silly again today because we have haters that were betrayed. Betrayal, absolute betrayal. So when you look at the dollar, the key point that we're trying to highlight here is this is higher than that. So it's no longer as perfect a structure, which might mean that for a period, the dollar is going to get a little bit of a rest. But generally, if the euro and the Australian dollar, my favorite is actually the Australian dollar, you just don't get the cross as readily available, gold, Aussie. I'll show you that one and why I like it more. You can learn something for free about charting while you take ownership of your own outcomes and recognize that leverage trading is not something you should do untrained. Okay, especially just following someone who you expect to send personal exits from to your phone direct or YouTube at all times of night, regardless of his condition. Here we go. Aussie. I want to show you the Aussie. The Aussie is the one we like most. In fact, it was picked by one of our Hong Kong contingent, one of my faves, an absolute legend sniper community member now for quite some time. And he was telling us interesting things about China and Hong Kong when he came and visited us recently as a community member. That's right. He's got property. He's in the Mauritius. He's doing lots of interesting things. You can't know his name. I don't have his permission to talk about him. But I can tell you, that's what people do that start building their wealth. They travel, they have fun, they have property in other places, they have fallback plans in case Hong Kong collapses and the Chinese take it all and they don't have the same degree of cover. They all have. Wherever you are, you have a reset plan. Everybody has reset plans. That's right. The ones that have plans have a plan. The ones that don't. By the way, Holland is going to introduce 36%. Can you believe this? Unrealized capital gains to their citizenry in, I think it's 2027. And I'm here to tell you that's a short step to them actively killing you. Back to this. So gold and Oz is looking very much like it's being set up for an upside breakout. And the Chinese are quiet. When the Chinese are quiet, there's no major driving. But was there selling? Was there much selling? No. Low volume, low volatility, tight, holding the level. That means in the absence of the runaway steam train that has driven this market, go and have a look at the East prices versus the West pricing on the sessions of the East versus the West. You will realize that actually it is held incredibly strong, given that one of the major locomotives have fallen quiet. What do you think happens when we come back? 3 impulses. HVF method says to you, we are going higher on Australian dollars through the 7,500, probably trade the 7,600, which will take you a long way to retracing the slap in the face event, that once-off ambush that we've suggested will end. There you go. That will end 7,946. Remember, you can book a call. You might need to plan it long in advance. Don't leave it too late. It's part of your reset planning. The link is across. Book it and do it. Get your accounts in order. Get ready to build wealth and use that wealth to establish a footprint outside of the most Bolshevik bent nations, which are all the traditionally European-based nations, the English language, Commonwealth, and Europe. That is them. Don't be there when it all goes down. Otherwise, you will find yourself on the end of the unrealized capital gains. Gold leads. So we will have a look at silver. And I do expect that silver will begin the further recovery as part and parcel of this. However, gold will lead. Silver will follow. That means it is going low vol too. But in terms of its technicals, it's a lot lower relative to its overall range. So we look at who survived the downside. Gold always survives downside better than most things. Ask the Bitcoin guys. The Bitcoin guys, oh dear, oh dear. What about our Bitcoin guys? What a bunch they've had to learn of late. And who'd have told them so long time ago, since 2016. And now with every passing year, more itsy-weeny little BlackRock, Lowell, Finkelstein, Epstein details, Dershowitz, the whole shooting match, Adam Back visiting James, the legend who started Bitcoin, sitting there on Little St. James. Oh, how hard it must be when you've enraptured such a fairy tale with your imaginary Japanese friend of nobility and pristine code and unbelievable collateral and all of that. And now you suddenly get all the mystique peeling away. The truth is rolled back. Filthy molesters, kiddie fiddlers, absolute scum of the earth, vile abusers, murderers. The cruelty of some of these stories that you will find. Yep. There seems to be a preponderance of certain people in the list, names, and they all seem to have zero care, ultimate supremacy. They are the ultimate racists, projecting racism on everybody else. Isn't it funny and ironic that? The ultimate supremacists and racists. But silver down here is not at the 23.6%. He transitioned quickly to the silver, thinking he might go on a very dangerous rant for YouTube. Yep, 23.6%. And if we go back to gold and see, well, how's gold recovered? This is the aspect of buoyancy that gold moves first. He's your king. You get a setback event, such as when we say no more leverage longs 6 a.m. while trundling onto our motorbike. Maybe you should believe us, and maybe you shouldn't even expect that, because the truth of the matter is you're responsible for your own exit strategies if you're not in a community that is non-funded. You get to hear what somebody on YouTube tells you when he has the time to tell it. And you should consider yourself lucky that, in fact, a message was even made. We are more decent than most people and more principled than most. And we don't like to see anyone get wrecked, even deluded people that think they're owed something for some strange reason. Anyway, back to this topic that we are here. We are fighting back. The Judas call, Judas. I love that. I remember on the football stands, like he would leave Arsenal and go play for Spurs, or he'd leave Spurs and go play for Arsenal Football Club. Judas, that is me. That is me. Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm feeling the love. Isn't it beautiful? Anyway, gold by separate decree is already around the 50%, when our friend silver was not yet at the 23.6%. So it's not at the 38.2. It's not at so who leads recovery? Gold leads recovery. Always has been, always will. When you've had a slap in the face, you wait for the king to move. That's the one you buy. You don't whale into silver. You don't whale into platinum, no matter what we've said about platinum or silver. After a setback, it starts again. First is gold. We were trading when we were in United Kingdom in Hyde Park.